Okay, so step 2 is going to be to take 3 pieces of your scrap colored paper. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 pieces. And you're going to take a cup, okay, or even a canned food, and you're going to trace the circle. And you're going to do this with pencil. I'm going to make sure I leave a little bit of room here at the top because we're going to be drawing something as part of the sleigh bell there. So I'm going to do 1. I'm going to do it 3 times. And you could use different size circles. That kind of helps add a nice variety of sizes, or keep it simple and just trace the same one over and over, and that's okay too. Okay, 2, do 1 more, and I could even do the bottom. That's going to be kind of tiny, but that's okay. We could still do it. Nothing smaller than this circle for sure. So 3, okay? That is step number 2, okay? So I'm going to put my pencil aside. Step number 3 is going to be to add these lines into the circle that just bend a little slightly, right? So they're not perfectly straight. We're adding kind of a curvy line here that bends. This is also going to help to create form here. So I'm going to do that 3 times, 1 on each circle. 2, 1 more, and then 3. Okay. Okay, so step 4 is going to be now to take and connect those lines with a curvy line that sticks out just a little bit, right? So we want that to stick out. 1, do that 3 times, 2, 3. Okay. Now, after I do that, to add to the sleigh bell, I'm going to draw 2 dots here at the bottom, like that, and then just make a little letter X. So everything, what I do to 1, I'm going to just do to all 3. Okay, then we're going to add the little hook here at the top for the bell. And to do that, I'm going to draw a rainbow line and then a baby rainbow inside. Okay, rainbow line or frowny face line. Then another one inside. Okay, now I can take, after I'm done with that, and I'm going to outline the circles if I haven't already done so. Oops. Then also you can color inside here, black. One more. And then what we're going to do next after this is my favorite part, and that is adding value to one side of the circle. So the reason we're going to add value is because we want to make it look like a form. So a form is a 3D shape. So in this case, the shape here is a circle, and we don't want it to look flat. We want it to look more 3D. So in this case, it would be a sphere. A sphere is a 3D shape or a form of a circle. So what I'm going to do is just take my pencil, and there's lots of different ways an artist can create value. We're going to try to keep it simple and use what we have at home. And in this case, we're going to just use a pencil, right? So it doesn't matter what side, we're just doing one side of our circle to create the value. It doesn't matter what side you choose. The important thing is that you choose the same side then for all 3 circles, okay? So I'm going to start here. Now what I want to do is I want to try to follow the shape of the circle. So to start with, I'm going to kind of, I'm following this line down here, and I'm just taking my pencil and just adding some lines like so, okay? But I want to fill it in more. So now I'm going to go this way with the circle, follow that outline, and add some more lines. And it does take practice to get used to. You don't want to press too hard, but you don't want to press too light either, right? So you just want to start to shade that in, and I'm just using a little bit of pressure, and I'm not coloring in the whole thing. I'm just going to do the one side, okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing on top. I'm going to follow kind of this curve with my pencil. I'm not trying to be like neat or perfect or anything. I'm just following the feel of the circle, the shape. Then I'm going to fill that in a little bit with a little bit of pressure. And I don't have to fill in the whole thing, right? Because now what I'm going to do next now is take my finger, doesn't matter, take one finger, and you're just going to blend your pencil line. Okay. So if you can see now, it looks more evenly valued instead of seeing kind of these hatchy pencil lines. Then I'm going to do the same thing on top. Take my finger and just kind of blend in the pencil. I did have a little wipe here nearby, but you could just wipe that. Don't wipe it on you. Go ahead and maybe like a wet piece of paper towel or at the sink. So that helps to create more like a form instead of just a flat surface. Now, excuse me, if you have colored paper and you do have a white crayon nearby, you can add a highlight to the space here in the middle. And then the opposite side, I'm just going to ever so gently kind of add a little bit of white. You don't want to go too hard there. So this side has the shadow, and this side has a little bit of the highlight. And that also helps to create even more form there. And if you don't have that, don't worry about it. That's just something extra that you can do as well. Okay, so you're going to do that to all three circles, and then once you finish, you will carefully cut these out. You want to try to stay as close to the Sharpie or outline as possible, whatever you used. It could have been crayon or colored pencil, without cutting it off. Okay, you want to try to keep that because that will help to give it emphasis when we glue it down against our background of the pine branches. Okay, and then I'll talk next about placement, gluing it down, and then what you can do optional at the very end. There we go.